Purgatory 26. Can indulgences deliver these souls? 2 Mac 12, 39, 4 mints. Voice-over by Sebastian Bedard. English corrected translation from illustrated by Eurico from. Can plenary indulgences deliver souls from purgatory? The answer is yes, the answer is definitely yes. Only one must remember, a little bit, what this purgatory is, after individual judgment. There are two issues that souls must acquire that are ultimately one thing. They must first acquire a humble heart, a broken heart. They must die to themselves, in order to be able to see God, face to face, who is in his life, in his energy, in his kenosis, exaltation of the other above itself. No one can see God without dying, and no plenary indulgence can stop him. You have to learn that. If the grain of fallen wheat does not die, it remains alone, it is factual. No one can see God without dying. The only sign that these souls are not all humble, as if they were dead to themselves, is that at the beginning of their purgatory, being aware of the sins they have committed upon earth, full of zeal, they desire to pay for all their faults, and perhaps even 4 times the amount, like Zacchaeus, for all the wrong they have done on earth. They want to repay them all. They are just, and they have been all the harder on earth, as they apply this judgment harshly when they enter purgatory. This second issue, which is rather a side effect, these debts. Christ has fully paid for them all, while upon the cross. I would even go as far to say that we ourselves, Christ, and St. Paul says so, we can fill in our flesh by our sufferings, by our sacrifices, what is lacking in the sacrifice of Christ to bear all the sins of the world. So when a soul in purgatory experienced its time of despair that shaped it into a humble heart, the soul remains determined to pay up to the end. And it's at this point, because she is ready, that someone on earth, or that someone in heaven, may inform her that she may never have to pay, that everything has already been paid for by Christ, and she may receive an indulgence. She can hear that word since she is no longer in the state of the beginning, where she said, I will become worthy of you. Having suffered, the soul understands full well that she will never be worthy of Christ, and that it is enough for him to be merciful. Thus, when someone on earth, in communion with Christ and opening the treasures of the Church, which are all the sufferings that Christ used when upon the cross, offers for someone in purgatory an indulgence, they are applied to the soul as soon as possible. So, when she leaves purgatory, she accepts that indulgence, she is quite humble, she will never refuse it. It even upsets her, in the sense that someone who is in a purgatory far worse than her, since on earth we don't know if all this is true, to think of her, where she was in her prison. This is why heaven sometimes illustrates in a dream to the souls of purgatory the people on earth who pray for them, their children, their grandchildren, or the masses that are offered for them. It speeds up their purification in an incredible way.